going to be talking about some of the errors that commonly happen with beginning drivers. If you don't know, I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. Let's go ahead and get it. I think a lot of beginning drivers, because you have the experience, you tend to not look left or right. As a result, you pull out in front of cars. And if you pull out in front of cars, that is going to be an automatic failure. Plus, you can be involved in an accident. What is the remedy to this? You need to come up to the edge of the road, look left, make sure it's clear, look right, watching for pedestrians and bicyclists, and look left again. Once it's clear, you need to turn into the nearest lane. Next, as an instructor, I'm looking for students who will obey traffic signals and traffic signs. Example, stop. This means you come to a complete stop for 3 seconds, 1001, 1002, and 1003. You have to come to a complete stop for 3 seconds. The car must remain motionless. Then you inch forward. It's called showing the car. You come up, you look left, you look right, you look left, and then you would proceed either making your left turn or right turn. Next, do you understand the rules of the right-of-way? These are very confusing for beginning drivers, and they're confusing for experienced drivers like myself. If you are the first car at the stop sign, you should be the first car to go. But I need you to understand this. The right-of-way can be given. If you're confused and cars come at all four areas at the same time, you can wait. You can let the other person go by, waving them by. You can wait for the next person. If you're not sure, wait. It's very important. Your road tester will not communicate to you and say, it's okay to go. G.O. You need to know this for yourself. Let's continue. Entering a curve at the proper speed and position. You want to go in slow entering the curve, and you want to accelerate out. A lot of beginners, and on your road test, you're going to be very nervous. A lot of beginners tend to go too fast into their turn, and what happens, centrifugal force will pull you to the outside edge, and literally you'll go off the road to the left, thereby going in the wrong lane, possible head-on collision, or if the road turns hard in the opposite direction, you'll go off into the ditch. Those elements are extremely scary. So what is your solution? You go into your turn slow, you accelerate out smoothly. You don't need a lot of steering input as you go around the curve. Take your time, go in smooth, and accelerate out. Next, let's talk about gradually increasing speed at the apex of the curve. At the center of the curve, you want to start accelerating to carry the car so you don't lose momentum. It's like going around a curve, you're running, and your speed will carry you through the curve. If you lift your foot, your car will almost stall. And then if you're driving a manual, you'll have to downshift into a lower gear. And if you pop the clutch, the car will jerk and you'll lose points. So you want to be smooth in your entrance to the curve and smooth on your acceleration out of the curve. If I'm going around a curve to the right, as an instructor, I should see you looking to the right. If we're going around a curve to the left, I should see you looking to the left. Vision is so important. Your instructor needs to see you looking, coming up to an intersection, looking left, looking right, checking your mirrors. You want to see and be seen, S-E-E-N. You want other drivers to see you. Next, you want to practice your parking maneuvers. This is where a lot of beginners fail. Why? You don't put the time in. Your mom, your dad, your caregivers are too busy. You need to make time to practice those maneuvers. The small things mean a lot. Parking means a lot. Being able to parallel park. You want to line your vehicle up. You want to reverse back at a 45 angle, roll straight in, and when you're halfway past, then you should be 12 inches or less. I do put my foot out and check. Good instructors will show you what to do, explain what to do, and demonstrate what to do. I'm a good instructor because I'm very passionate about driver's education and I want to do well. I really want to help you, and definitely want to. I'm looking at this comment. I'm 22 from Indiana. I can back up really well. My dad's a truck driver. I can pass parallel parking. Amazing as well. Thank you. I have the ultimate respect for truck drivers. Without them, we wouldn't have anything. They carry materials regionally, and I'm in the Midwest just like you, across the country. You will see me having some truck drivers on the channel very soon and some podcasts coming up. So I need all of you to say, hey, where's that podcast? So you have to look, and you need to frame your rear window in the mirror, just like I'm looking up. This is my rear mirror. And then your left side mirror. And then your right. So when you're driving, you should just have a quick glance. You do not want to look too long. If you look too long, you're going to drift off the road and you're going to get a deduction. That's what beginners do. They look so long and then they overturn the wheel. And then the instructor has to grab the wheel so we don't crash, and that could be grounds for failure. So remember, it's just a quick glance. But typically beginners will grab the wheel really hard, so relax your grip. If this is bringing you value, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and let's keep it moving. Could one get a driver license being in high school? Yes, you can. First, it's okay. You need to go to the DMV in your area. If you're 18, you need to take a practice test. It's about $20, $25. 20 questions, 25 questions. You pass that test. You take an eye test. Then you have your temporary instruction permit. You can drive with someone over 21, your cousin, your uncle, your auntie. Then once you're confident, and you subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to do in-car road test prep so you see what the test is. And then I went over Georgia. I'll go over Indiana so you know what to do. By me being a driving instructor, I can give you the general information to help you pass your road test. Indiana is different than Texas. Texas is different than any other location. But this information you can apply to many places around the country. Let's continue. Parallel parking, you have to know how to do that. Many of you are going to say, I don't know how to parallel park, but if you go to a downtown area, most cities in the United States have a downtown area. Downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago, LA, downtown. I was there a couple years ago when I met Mr. Beast, right? You have to be able to park in urban areas. Parking is extremely important, and it's still on the test, okay? So let's continue. You want to have a proper signal, 100 feet or a half a block, maybe 6 houses. And you want to turn in your blinker. This lets drivers behind you know this car is getting ready to turn. Beginners either turn it on too late, and people are confused. Are they turning at this street? Are they turning at the next street? If you turn it on too late, you're going to get rear-ended. So it takes practice and timing. And when you go to take your road test, the expectation is you're here to know how to drive. You can't practice, okay? Let's continue. Safely exit parking spots. Go back to a stall spot. Downtown Indiana, downtown Detroit, downtown Chicago. Usually those areas are metered parking spots. What does this mean? You have to put money into a meter. If this is bringing you value and you're learning something, give this a thumbs up. I have 9 people in here. Give it a thumbs up. This tells the algorithm, hey, this content creator is really helping people, and that's what I want to do. I've been a driving instructor over 22 years. I want to give you the information that you need so you can be successful. Parking, angle parking, where you're going into a mall or a community college, they have angle parking spots because they're trying to get a lot of people in that area to go to the mall. High schools have stall parking spots where you have to go down an aisle. There's an arrow to the right. We're in America, we drive on the right, and there's another arrow on their right side. So what I need you to do is take your time, get your speed up, and when you're going through a parking lot, look, also 2 to 5 p.m. is the most dangerous time for younger drivers who are in high school, right? Because you have inexperienced drivers coming out. Let's continue talking about the test. Safe driving, Kyle, how about seat positioning? I got you. I'm tall. I'm like 6'4". You don't want to be too low in the seat. You don't want to be too high. Let's pretend, you're going to laugh, this is the steering wheel. The steering wheel is too close. You want to have your hands slightly bent, right? A bend in your elbows. If your elbows aren't bent, you're too far away. This is too far away. This is too close. You want to have a 90-degree bend in your elbows. You want to have your seat tilted back a little bit. A lot of beginning drivers are right up on the steering wheel. You won't have leverage. You want to pivot your foot between the gas and brake. A lot of beginners punch the brake, punch the gas. And you punch the brake and gas, you're going to jerk, lose points. Your foot can even get stuck. I'm going to tell you a story. I had a driver 3 years ago. They had on work shoes, work boots. Their foot got stuck between the gas and brake. The car was going and stopping. The car was like, oh my God, my heart dropped. I looked down, their foot was caught between the gas and brake. You want to wear thin sole shoes. I'm not sponsored by Converse, but I should be. Converse are a really good shoe because they're very flexible. You can pivot your foot. Don't wear old, thick shoes. You won't be able to feel the gas and brake. Beginners have a difficult time filling the brake, filling the gas. So what happens again? You punch the brake, you punch the gas. Okay? So wear a comfortable shoe that allows you to feel the gas and brake. Crocs are pretty good. I'm not against those. I don't have a pair of Crocs. Next, automatically put on your seatbelt. When you get into the car, put on your seatbelt. If you don't, that could be grounds for failure. Put on your seatbelt. That shows your instructor, that shows the tester, hey, I'm safe. Next, maintains proper speed at all times. If you're in the neighborhood, you should be at 25 or less. If you're on the main thoroughfare, it could be 35, 45, 55. You need to drive at or near the speed limit. Do not go over, O-V-E-R. If you go over the speed limit, you might get one warning. It could be automatic grounds for failure. Let's continue. Maintain safe position and distance, 3 seconds. If this is giving you value, give it a thumbs up, please. I'm trying to give you value. I'm a state certified driving instructor. I teach teens and adults. I'm blessed to be here. I decided to start a channel to talk about good, safe driving practices. So at the end, I need you to subscribe. I need you to give it a thumbs up, leave comments. I'm very active and I care about my community. Next, maintains a safe following distance. How do you know you're safe? You pick a stationary object, say this sign right here. Once the first car passes it, you start counting 1001, 1002, 1003. The minimum following distance is 3 seconds. If you're closer than that, then you will end up tailgating and you could be in a dangerous situation. You will get a minus or you could get an error. Let's continue. Next, identifies and understands and responds appropriately to traffic control signs. What does this mean? You're not going to run a yellow light. If you can stop safely in 3 seconds, you should squeeze the brake. If you run yellow lights, 3 things. 1, you could fail automatically. 2, you could get hit. Or 3, you're traveling too slow. It's called a stale green light. You might see that on your DMV test, so I'm giving you some good test prep too. Let's continue. Demonstrates proper use of mirror checks before stopping and changing lanes. So let's pretend I'm driving. These are cars behind me. I have my center mirror. It's adjusted. So when I'm driving, I can just look up. I have my left side mirror. It's adjusted so I can just quickly look. My right side mirror. If I'm making a lane change to the left, it's mirror, turn signal, blind spot. You look. Right shoulder. You look. You have to demonstrate that to your road tester. You have to demonstrate that to your driving instructor. I'm very conscientious and I care about my students. I want to teach you and show you the right way to learn, to pass. Let's continue. Understands different vehicle capabilities. Efficiently shares the road. Okay, there's a big semi truck behind you. You're changing lanes. You're not hanging around that truck. You're not in the no zones. There are 4 no zones. Say this with me. Left side, right side, front of the truck, and behind the truck. Get out of no zones. In fact, I was coming home yesterday from the lab, and there was a huge semi truck. It was a double. So there are 2 trailers. They were from Indiana. So I found myself behind them. What I need to do is adjust my following distance. If you have to, you want to pass on the left. The right side has a smaller blind spot. So once I got up to speed, I made my lane change, mirror, turn signal, blind spot, I accelerated, and I got away from the truck. Don't hang around trucks. I have a few more. Efficiently manages risk. A car just cut out in front of you. Are you going to slow down? Are you going to panic and cut over? Maintain good speed and space. I want to say thank you so much. I will be on tomorrow about 12 o'clock. Look at this on a replay. Thank you so much. Bye.